Good. We're live here.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand and salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment. Thank you. Mrs. Conrad, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Dix.
Here.
Mr. Keating. Mr. Carlson.
Here.
Mr. Lesko. Here.
Mr. Parker's online.
And Mr. Redbush.
Here. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's meeting. This is our voting meeting for the month of September. All these items were discussed last Wednesday at our work session. So if the voting goes pretty quickly tonight, we have already had a week to think about these and ask any questions that we've had in the meantime. Recognition of meetings, July 12th from 6 to 7, executive session personnel, 7:13, 7:35, work session and regular board meeting. July 18th, 4:30 to 7, executive session for personnel, and 7 o'clock was our work session. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if we have to add this on. We did have the activities.
So we can denote in the minutes that the athletic committee session for personnel, spring coaches exit interviews, what day?
It was Monday, 5:45.
Till 7.
Till 7.
Thank you.
Last Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. Any presentations tonight?
Yeah, me.
Okay, we have one presentation.
Yes.
Mr. Rich.
Just want to share some good news as we're preparing here for a new school year, and also later tonight you'll be voting a teacher's contract. What are you getting for your money, if you will? What's your return on your investment? So the Pittsburgh Business Times has been doing school rankings now for over 20 years. The latest school rankings that they put out, and this came out, in all fairness, late in the spring, but now that we're getting back into the new school year, I thought it appropriate to share with you at this time. So you can see that the last 3 tested years are 19, no 20, because that was COVID, 21, and 22. So this is not reflective of what we just did in the spring of 23, and we did well, and you'll see about that more to come in future months. But this would have been, spring of 22 would have been the most current scores used for this. Now, one of the reasons why I like the Pittsburgh Business Times, it is straight achievement, right? What's your scores compared to everybody else's scores? There's all kind of different variables in achievement, size, resources, economics. All of those things can impact achievement. But how do we stack up? We've been on a journey from 303 to what I want to tell you is prior to COVID, we climbed 100 to 100. Following COVID here, we've climbed to 108th out of the 500 school district. We've improved another 41 slots since coming out of COVID. What this shows here are the rankings relative to who is where in Lawrence County. The Laurel School District, again, has made progress since 2011. Once ranked 303 in academic performance, we're now ranked 108. We've increased 195 spots to a rank of 108 through the release of these scores for the 2022 cycle. I think another tip of the hat should also go to Mohawk and Union, which have both climbed more than 130 places themselves. Just to let you know, well, if we're 108, who's number 1, right? That's a natural question. Who's number 1? So if you look at Upper St. Clair, Fox Chapel, Lower Marion, Radnor Township, etc., those schools, what you find is not only are they larger in size, but they also are more affluent in per capita income. There's no doubt that achievement and affluence are linked, but there are certain fundamental core principles that any good school district can do relative to instruction. I also highlighted the yellow because 7 of these top performing schools are in our region here in Western Pennsylvania. Laurel ranks 2nd in the county using that proprietary formula. We have the highest growth in Lawrence County, and some people, quite frankly, have even done better than us, but we are ranked in the top 15% of all school districts for improvement. Also, we are the most improved in Lawrence County over that period of time. So you've seen this before, so this is really like an update for you, but what I want to say is, and I said this to the Act 48 committee this morning and to our admin team, the train is on the tracks, headed in the right direction. We keep moving forward. And so as far as what's going on in your district, for why you got on this board, for curriculum instruction, assessment, professional development, we are accomplishing our fundamental duty. And that is my briefest of presentations on that.
Is any of this on our website for people to look up?
It will be,
Okay.
okay, but I wanted to share it with you first. I could have Rob put it on our cover page, and so it'll be the first thing that they see.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Rich? Any reports from standing committees of the board? Any additions to administrator or supervisory reports?
Just once again, Ms. Bell is excused from tonight, but as I shared, what is she doing today? 4-H or something? Okay, her steer got reserve champion for middleweights. So if that's not an excuse for a Laurel administrator to miss a board meeting, I don't know what is. So that probably made more sense to you, Corey, than anything else. Your daughter was a grand champion twice, I believe, in Carcass at the Lawrence County Fair.
Okay, item B, this is just information that the nomination petition for Eric
DiTullio.
I think we discussed that last week. He's running for some, right. Item 5, any comments or questions from the floor relative to agenda items?
Letter M under 10, is that the one that the teachers have voted on, or what contract and other agreement?
Sure. So a tentative agreement, the document that is presented to the board tonight is the same document that was presented as a material on July 12th, and it has been vetted by Mr. Corey Chakrin, PSCA Uniserv rep, and it also has been vetted by Bill Allman, our local president. Going back to, it's a public document, so I can speak a little more to it right now, in that when it was originally sent to us, Jen and I looked it over. We put some things in red that we felt were TA'd, that were not necessarily in there. They gave us some feedback on that. So the final result and what we have here is a document that meets the expectations of the union and also meets us. As far as this particular document themselves, this document was not in the hands of the union in May 30th or June 1st, whenever they voted on, but it has been vetted by their leadership. No, we have been told no. Now, I will tell you that the next step of the process is from a tentative agreement to a final agreement, right? So we have an agreed upon document that'll then go to legal, okay? And once it comes out of their legal, it goes to our legal. And then when legal agrees, Bill and I will initial off and we will approve the final agreement. So once we approve the TA, as far as compensation and anything else of consequence in there, that's all retro. Well, theirs hasn't even expired yet. So, what I would anticipate is in a board timeline, 30 to 60 days, so it might be done in the September meeting, but I would anticipate a final document in the October meeting, no later than.
Any other questions? I have a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Kuth, second by Mr. Dix. Any discussion on motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Well, Bob, Jeff isn't here, so you get to do treasurer's report and investment report and bill listings if you don't mind.
Okay. We'll do A, the treasurer's report for July 2023. Here's the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve the treasurer's report for the general fund as of July 31st, 2023 is outlined below. Balance as of June 30th, 2023, $638,705.53. Receipts during July of the same year, $1,732,810.29. Expenditures during July, $1,740,469.18, and the balance of July 31st, 2023, $631,045.64. I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Dix, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes, abstentions? Motion carries.
And B, investment report. It is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve the attached investment report for July of 2023. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Dix, second by Mr. Carlson. Any negative votes, abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And the bill listings and food services also.
Okay. The number 8, approval of bill listings. Subject A, it is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve general fund bill listings for August 9th, 2023, in the amount of $94,171.27, and manual payments the month of July 2023 in the amount of $1,249,175 for a total of $1,343,346.27. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Dix, second by Ms. Ensko. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes, abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And subject B is the food service fund bills. It is the recommendation of the superintendent to the board to approve the food service fund bill listing for August 9th, 2023 in the amount of $371.90. And I'd like to put that in the form of a motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Dix, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Board action items, Ms. Ensko.
Okay, so this personnel, so I'm gonna put all the personnel, which is A through L, and I'll read them off quickly. So we have retirements and resignations. We have an amendment to the National Honor Society advisor rate of pay. The assistant boys golf coach, substitute bus van drivers, Title I paraprofessional, middle school, high school secretary, secondary English language arts teacher, Sean DeJohn. Mentor teacher for the English, the ELA teacher. Increases for custodial substitute. The transfer personal care aide to the cafeteria. award the 10-year professional contract, for Kim Stewart, and additions to the volunteer non-instructional substitute listing. I put A through L in the form of a motion.
Motion by Ms. Ensko, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motions? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motions carry. A through L. Okay, Board Action Committee of the Whole. I'm gonna take A through E. A being, adoption of the second reading. B, 23-24 school lunch prices. C, 23-24 volunteer accident insurance renewal. D is the a la carte pricing, and E is the VOAG students.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ensko, second by Mr. Dix. Any discussion on any of the motions? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motions carry. F is Student Activities Handbook. G, Elementary Faculty Handbook. H, Disposal of Assets, the 2006 GMC van. I is the school dentist. J, bus routes. And K, strength and conditioning program. Motion by Mr. Carlson, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on any of the motions? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Oh, I should have taken L too. Bid acceptance for repository property purchase.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ensko, second by Mr. Carlson. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And item M, it's a recommendation of the board president and superintendent to approve the tentative agreement with the Laurel Teachers Association effective September 1st, 2023 through August 31st, 2028.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ensko, second by, is it Dave? Yep. Second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Well, I guess we have, do we take roll call? Okay, Ms. Conrad?
Mrs. Ensko? Yes.
Abstain.
Mr. Booth?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Redfoot?
Yes.
And Mr. Dix?
Yes.
Tally?
5-0-1.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Congratulations to the teachers and congratulations to the district.
And I would like to say a few things about this contract, because it took us around 9 months working on this, pushing papers back and forth to each other. We did have a handshake agreement in May. During that time, we found the end of a paragraph that we had questions about in the early retirement. I asked the teachers about leadership about that, and they decided to take a strike vote. We went to the board. It was a split board. We had enough votes last month to pass this. The three of us on the negotiating committee asked to have a chance to meet with the teachers and discuss this last thing that we thought was overlooked and unfinished business. But we had already agreed to an agreement. We did want to talk to them about it. So about 20 minutes after I got home from the meeting last month, I started getting texts and emails about, the teachers are gonna strike. And then they come out with this big, long social media post. All we wanted was a meeting. We didn't need all this drama, but they decided to get the community all fired up, try and intimidate the board, use them to get the board to vote on something we already decided we were gonna vote on. All we wanted was a conversation with the board, with the teachers. When it comes down to it, we're not gonna spend money on lawyer fees. We're not gonna upset the whole district's schedule. Everybody builds their life around the school calendar. And you've got kids that are just coming back to school from COVID. We had no intentions on letting this go to a strike. What all the drama was about, I have no clue. I'm very disappointed in whoever wrote the social media post. Totally unnecessary. I'll stop right there.
Well, one more clarification to your claim. The point you wanted to discuss was something that they changed arbitrarily, a date they changed arbitrarily without negotiation. And when that was brought to mutual attention, that's what spurred your comment that we wanted to meet one more time to discuss.
Right. Yeah, but all it was a meeting. It should have never got to this point where the whole community's all fired up coming after us for just asking a question. I mean, it is our job to look out for the taxpayers' money, so we wouldn't be good stewards of the money if we didn't ask the question. So with that being said, I'm glad it's done. It was a long 9 months. There's nothing fun about it. So with that, is there anything else to come before the board this evening?
Can you make a post about that? Something online?
Yes, there was.
Thank you.
Right.
A lot of people's been asking and.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay, well, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Yeah, Bob, or, yeah.
Mike,
Yeah,
Mike,
I
go ahead.
know a lot of people put a lot of work into that, but I especially want to thank you, Tim, for the hard work that you put into all this. It's very appreciated, and I know it's a really underappreciated job that we all have here. But thank you.
No, I appreciate it, and I respect the teachers for their position. I mean, they have their job to do, we have our job to do. I just wish it wouldn't have come to the anger at the end, I guess. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ensko, second by Mr. Dix. No negative votes, all, we're good. Motion carries. Thank everybody for, the meeting is adjourned. I thank everybody for